Dear students, hope you are great. Today we are going to continue Unit 1, Lesson 2, Chemistry of Life. So today we are going to take nucleic acid. What's meant by nucleic acid? Nucleic acid are molecules that carry information in cells. So nucleic acids are molecules that carry information in a cell. Nucleic acids are made up of the smaller molecules. These molecules called the nucleotides. So, what's meant by nucleic acid again? Nucleic acid are molecules that carry information about cell. These nucleic acids made up of smaller particles or smaller molecules called what? Called nucleotides. Nucleic acid is DNA. So, DNA, we use DNA. DNA carry information about the cell or about everything in your body. So what's meant by DNA? DNA is a nucleic acid that carry information that cell need to make other molecules such as protein. The order of nucleotides in DNA read like recipe. Each nucleotide tells the cell the order of amino acids needed to build a protein. So, what's meant by DNA? DNA is a nucleic acid that carry information about the cell. For example, if the cell needs a protein, what happened? Nucleotide inside the cell, inside DNA, this is called nucleotides. Nucleotides inside DNA, each nucleotide inside the DNA tell the cell the order of amino acids need to build a protein. What are phospholipids? All cells are surrounded by a cell membrane. Any cell, either plant cell or animal cell, surrounded by a cell membrane. The cell membrane helps protect the cell. So the function of cell membrane to protect the cell. Look here. This is a cell membrane. This is cell membrane. So what is the function of cell membrane? Protect the cell. This cell made up of phospholipids. A lipid that contain phosphorus is called phospholipid. So all cells around us are surrounded by a cell membrane. This cell membrane helps protect the cell. A lipid that contain phosphorus is called phospholipid. Phospholipids form much of the cell membrane. So cell membrane form from what? Form from phospholipids. What's meant by phospholipid? Phospholipid is a lipid that contain phosphorus. So phospholipid is a lipid or fat molecule that contain sulfur. And most of the cell membrane are made up of the phospholipid. And the function of cell membrane to protect the cell. This is the cell membrane or part of phospholipid bilayer. This is a cell membrane, part of the cell membrane that made up of phospholipid. Look at this molecule. Phospholipid form much of the cell membrane. The head, look, it's like a head and tail. So the head of phospholipid is attracted to water. This head of the phospholipid attract to water. The tail repel the water or push it away because there is water inside and outside the cell. The phospholipids form a double layer. So as the phospholipids formed from a double layer, look, this is a double layer, head and tail, and here head and tail. The head attract water, while tail repel water. And the phospholipid form double layer, bilayer. One layer line up so that the head face the outside of the cell. Second layer line up so the head face inside of the cell. The tail from the both layer face each other, forming a cell membrane. Molecules such as water are regulated into and out of the cell through the cell membrane. Look, this is a cell membrane. The head here face inside the cell, and here is outside the cell, while the tail facing each other. Look, towards each other, facing each other. Why is water important? Many cell processes require water. Any cell requires water, so water is very important. Water is important nutrient for life, as water is important nutrient for life. Water moves through a cell membrane by a process called osmosis, depend on concentration of water inside and outside the cell. This part is very important, as water is very important for cell, as water contains nutrients which is important for life. So water moves through the cell membrane or through the cell by a process called osmosis. What's meant by osmosis? Or osmosis depends on what? Depend on the concentration of water inside and outside the cell. So look, for example, this is a cell in a beaker contain a lot of water here, and inside the cell there is a few water like this, a few water. So what happened? Or the water moved from what? From the beaker and get inside the cell. Why? As the beaker contain high concentration of water, while inside the cell low concentration. So the water moved from the high concentration to the low concentration, from high concentration in a beaker to the low concentration inside the cell. This make a cell what? This make a cell swell and cause the cell to burst or break out. Another example, if this is a beaker and put a cell here, cell contain a lot of water, there is a lot of water here, and outside there is a little water in the beaker. So what happened? Water moved from inside the cell to outside the cell, from high concentration inside the cell, high concentration, and here low concentration. So concentration. So water moved from inside the cell to outside the cell, from high concentration to the low concentration. High concentration in the cell, while in the beaker low concentration. So what happened to the cell? The cell will be shrink like this, as water moved from the cell, shrink like this. So water moved from high to low, from inside the cell to outside the cell, will shrink. While when burst, like this, swollen red blood cells and burst or pricked out. That's it. So water moves through the cell membrane by a process called what? Called osmosis. And also the cell membrane made of phospholipids. This is a structure of phospholipids, contain head and tail. Head will attract water, which is outside the cell and inside the cell, present in outside the cell and inside the cell, while tail face each other, and tail repel water or repel water. Look, the tail repel water or push it away. That when what's meant by phospholipid is a lipid that contain a phosphorus, or fat molecule that contain phosphorus. So this called phospholipid. Head attract water, while tail repel water, and the bilayer or phospholipid layer made up of double layer of phospholipid structure. Look, this is a double layer. That's it. Thanks for watching.